Good day guys, my name is Entertain House. Welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be recapping week 3 of the NRL finals, also known as the Prelims. We had a bit of controversy which I'll speak about. Look, I'll also speak about the New South Wales Cup because I watched that game this afternoon and the junior parasite, the Wentworth Magpies, were in it. So anyway, let's get into the video and let's recap the round that was. So the first game of the round, the prelims, was the Raiders up against the Rabbits. Now, this game was sold out at Canberra. I thought Canberra would actually win 13 plus. Now, their defense was really good, but I am a little bit worried. I thought for the last maybe 15 minutes of the game, they weren't at their best and they leaked some points. They could have kept South Sydney to 6 points, but it wasn't meant to be, I guess. In regards to the Rabbits, we'll speak about them first. They lost 16-10, but both of these teams fought really hard. Now, I thought Adam Dewey and Dane Gagai were probably the two best South Sydney players for me on the field. Everybody tried. You could see there was a lot of effort in this side. I thought John Sutton in his final game of NRL, so good on him. Congratulations on a great career, mate. Obviously been a big player for South Sydney over the years, and now his career, just like Tim Manor in the New South Wales Cup, it's sad to see players go. I hope they do what they did last year where they farewell everyone in the grand final. It'll be great to watch. I can't wait. Thought Cam Murray was okay. Little bit quiet. He was quiet against the Roosters as well. Played a little bit better against Manly, but I thought he was average in this match. Sam Burgess was a bit of an impact, but he was doing some things that got the Raiders into penalties. But look, obviously you'd be upset because you're one game away from a grand final, but I think Wayne Bennett can take confidence and key points out of the match. I think the South Sydney Rabbitohs, everyone was expecting to write them off completely, but they turned up to play a great game of footy. A few costly errors probably cost them. I still can't believe, I think it was Cody Walker dragging Shans Nickel-Klokstad into goals after he surrendered in a tackle and him being called as held. It was ridiculous. It was probably the worst moment of the week for me. I could not believe that call. I am happy the Raiders got the win though, but that's it for the Rabbits for 2019. As for the Raiders, they now head very, very tough game against them, against the Roosters in the grand final. God, they were good. Defense wins you games, and I don't know why, but I expected them to score more points than they did. They only scored 16. I've got to give a bit of a rap. He's been a bit quiet lately, but I thought Shans Nickel-Klokstad was fairly good in this match. But there were some players, and those players were Jared Croker, Jack Whiten, Josh Papali, and Josh Hodgson. So for me, I think Josh Hodgson with his one-on-one strips and his amazing play the ball was one of the best players on the field. I can't give enough credit to Josh Papali though. He scored that try. I think it got them the win. It was the win actually. It was 73rd minute, and then Campbell Graham with a minute to go scores for the Rabbits to give him a chance. Jack Whiten scored a fantastic try. Look, he looks so dangerous when he runs the ball. That's what genuine halfbacks need to do, including Moses for Para. You can't always kick option. You need to learn to run the ball. And I think the number 7 job does that well. I thought Aiden Caesar was a little bit off, so I can't wait to see him in the grand final and how he goes for the team. Jordan Rapana, again, quiet. Leilua played a little bit better, I thought, than he did in the Storm game. He didn't get much time on the Storm game, though, because of actually, no, who they play? The final round. I thought Joe Leilua was a bit off the final round. I forget who Canberra played now. I think it was Warriors, maybe. But no, this was a good game of footy. I've got to give a bit of credit to Soliola. Soliola was always in there as well. Elliot Whitehead. Look, this whole team was fairly good. But as I said, I think Aiden Caesar was a little bit off, so I'm looking forward to him. But the Raiders, very, very good. 16 points to 10. I thought this was a really good game of footy as well. It was really enjoyable. As I said, sold out crowds, 26,000 at GIO Stadium. So I didn't know how much it fits, but I can't wait. Hopefully, cross my fingers, at some point next year I'll be heading down to GIO Stadium. Whether it is Eels and Raiders, I'm not sure, but I really want to go there. But congratulations to the Raiders going through the grand final, and also congratulations to you, South Sydney Rabbitohs. You made it to a prelim. Look, everyone was writing you off, including me, back in May when you had, I think, 5 losses in a row. But you fought brave against Manly. You put in a good effort, and you did finish in the top 4. So you can't be disappointed in yourselves. Second preliminary final saw the Roosters take on the Storm at the SCG. Last year's grand final, a rematch for the ages. 32,000 attendance, quite a big attendance at the SCG last night. Boyd Cordner scored the first try. Look, I'll talk about Melbourne first. I think it's more appropriate to talk about the losing side. I thought Ryan Pappenhausen was fantastic. A lot of people on my stream were saying he was quiet, but I completely disagree. Thought Josh Adokar had a really good game as well. Thought Cameron Munster, in my opinion, was actually quite quiet. Cameron Smith, he's always good. Nelson Asif-Solomona, one of the standouts for me. And I got to give credit, I think Dale Finucane at lock against Victor Radley, he did a good job. He covered him well. But the Roosters were too good. Look, Melbourne finished with the minor premiership. It was 8-0 at halftime. It was 8-6 for a lot of this match to the Roosters. But you know, Melbourne played very well, and you might disagree with me, and I'm not going to say that Melbourne deserved to win. They definitely didn't get robbed, but I don't know if they were the better team, but they were very close. Now, the Roosters won this by 8. This game should have been a lot closer. I thought a few calls went against Melbourne, kind of like the Raiders game, but it was good to see in that one. I don't know. Cameron Smith also hinted, I don't think it'll happen, but he hinted at retirement, saying you'll have a few weeks to think about it, Billy, and wait and see. He knows he's at the end of his journey. Melbourne had more possession than the Roosters at 41%. They had an 8% completion rate better. Roosters completing 27 out of 38, and the Storm completing 31 out of 30. Look, the Roosters have the worst completion rate in the comp, but they are the team to beat at the moment. It's going to be, they're going to be very confident against the Raiders. They've beaten them twice this year, even though the Raiders are one of their bogey teams. But look, Melbourne, I thought you played really well last night. I was expecting them to play a lot worse than they did for some reason, but the Melbourne Storm, you can never write them off. They turned up. Let's talk about the Roosters. James Tedesco, standout, fantastic. Latrell Mitchell, very quiet in my opinion. Brett Morris, did a few things, fairly good. Luke Keary, again, quiet. Now, Luke Keary, controversy here. You're not going to like this. Yes, he pulled hair. And look, that shouldn't be done, regardless. It should be a send-off. But I don't know if it should be a ban in rugby league. But after that, if you watch it again, there is a high tackle from Luke Keary. Now, I hate to say this, but I think if there's going to be consistency, Luke Keary should miss the grand final. Now, he's already been cleared. Can't wait to see him play. It's just my personal opinion. How come one player gets away with it and then everybody else doesn't? It's just unfair. And as Sam Burgess said, the NRL judiciary is a bit of a kangaroo court at the moment. Takiaho was good. Boyd Cordner was fairly good as well. He had a pretty good game. Mitchell Orbison was always there, showing up in brilliant plays. But for me, the man of the match, the best player on the field, was Daniel Tupou. He was fantastic. He was taking high ball. He was performing great tackles. I thought Daniel Tupou had probably his best game all year. Do you guys agree with me that Daniel Tupou, or who is your man of the match for both of these games? So you got the Raiders and the Rabbits, and you got the Storm and the Roosters. Now, while I look at that with the Roosters having the worst completion rate, I just want to have a look and see what the Raiders' completion rate was in regards to the stats? I wonder. Give me 2 seconds. This phone's just loading. Okay, so the Raiders and Rabbits both completed 80%, 28 out of 35 for the Raiders, and 36 out of 45 for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And the Rabbitohs had 56 possession compared to Canberra's 44. Wow. Okay, the sin binning of Chance Nickel Clockstad, very tough call, I think, as well. I forgot to speak about that. Sin binning of Nelson Asafa Solomona and Sasia Takiaho in the 38th second, I think. It says 0 on here, but it was on the 38th second. What a controversial game to begin. But the Roosters will play the Raiders in the grand final. Look, I think the teams are going to stay the same, but I'll do my video either tomorrow or Tuesday. Probably Tuesday. I mean, I have a set roster, but I'm bringing you guys this one because there's no footy tonight. It's Sunday. I mean, there was the New South Wales Cup, which I'll speak about in a minute, but Roosters and the Raiders, going to be a cracking grand final. Can't wait to be there. 2 good games of footy this weekend. Really enjoyed the prelims, but let's get into the New South Wales Cup. At 3 o'clock, Bankwest Stadium this afternoon, the Wentworthville Magpies played the Newtown Jets in the grand final for the New South Wales Canterbury Cup. Josh Hoffman was one of the best players on the field, in my opinion. The completion rate for the Magpies was 76% compared to Newtown's 73%, 49% completion to 49 possession to 51 for Wentworthville. Look, very, very good game of football. In the 80th minute, it was 14-all. In my opinion, we should have won this game 14-12. But anyway, there was, during the match, a tackle, and Jamie Soward has been biased towards Newtown and Wentworthville getting the spoon all year. So look at us now, Jamie. I'm a Parramatta fan, so if your first video, A-Land repping the Parramatta Eel, and Wentworthville is para to me. It's para. So as I said, Josh Hoffman was so good in this match. Jamin Salmon, for me, was a little bit off. Tim Manor in his last game of NRL, great. Matt McElrick, I haven't actually watched him play this year, obviously because Reid Marnie is our hooker. We did sign Matt McElrick, the Parramatta Eels, but we put him down there in that grade. I thought Oregon Kafusi and Ray Stone were good. But Newtown were very, very good. Toby Rudolph was good. Tyrone Phillips, Ronaldo Mutalato didn't pass his HIA, so he didn't get to play the second half. But William Kennedy, in the 87th minute with a minute and a half to go, won the match for the Newtown Jets off a try. Look, it was 14-15 in favour of the Magpies, and if this was NRL, it would have been a win. But it wasn't NRL. They played 2 halves of extra time. And we looked tired, we looked exhausted, and we lost 20 points to 15. Now, this one was a gut punch. This was Tim Manor's last NRL game. It really hurt. There were some tough calls against us. I want to give credit to us to come from 8th position to 2nd. I mean, we finish 8th in the regular season, and we play in the grand final. Look, I would have loved to have gone down, but I just didn't. I didn't go down today. But both Parramatta and Wentworthville, just amazing seasons. Very consistent as well. We got a lot of wins on both of the sides. So I'm proud of the boys. But, you know, I look forward to next year in regards to Para. Can't wait to see who we sign. So we've signed Regan Campbell-Gillard. And we're rumoured to have signed Tyson Frizzell, but I don't know how much truth there is to that or if it's a false rumour. But I really enjoyed this afternoon's game. Just think that penalty was very tough against us to level it up. But there's nothing that can be done now. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I'm looking forward to the grand final. The Roosters up against the Raiders on Sunday. Look, I'm sitting in section 140 behind one of the fans. I really hope it's the Raiders, potentially the Roosters, but I'm close to the field. Hopefully we can get some player action after the match. It's going to be very difficult. Normally you have to pay about $400 to be up front and centre, but I paid about $150. That's it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know who your player of the match was for the Raiders and the Rabbits game, and then let me know your man of the match for the Roosters and the Storm. Do you think a team got robbed? What was the worst call of the round? I'll be doing a Q&A video sometime this week, so I want you to drop a question for me as well. For that Q&A, if you're watching right now, it's time to drop your question. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button. The subs are amazing at the moment. I'm enjoying doing live streams regularly, but there's nothing to stream at the moment, but we'll wait and see when my next one will be. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.